It's one of the few places where candidates actually want his support. The latest CBS News polling shows that control of the Senate remains a toss-up today.
One of the few places where the candidates actually want his support.
Weijia Zhang is at the White House with more on that part of the story. Weijia, good morning.
Good morning to you, Gail, and good morning to everybody. So President Biden right now cannot rely on his popularity to win over votes for Democrats next month. His approval rating remains stuck at 40%. So instead of headlining those lively campaign rallies that presidents typically do, he is focusing on his accomplishments.
Families are hurting. You've heard me say it before, but I get it.
From gas prices to new jobs and abortion, this week President Biden is going all in on those issues. When asked Wednesday about his focus going into the election, he said there are multiple issues at play.
Just hoping to clarify for midterm voters, top domestic issues, inflation or abortion.
All important. Unlike you, there's no one thing.
Today, the president is heading to Pittsburgh to tout the billions of dollars he signed into law for rebuilding the nation's infrastructure. He will revisit the site of a massive bridge collapse.
This was fucking wild. I mean, let's keep it real. Listen, infrastructure going from China to America, bit of a whiplash. Bit of a whiplash there. You know, you look at a country that has been able to urbanize gigantic swaths of its population over the course of 20 fucking years. And then you look at America, who is still relying on the last semblance of social democracy from the civilian engineer corps in the aftermath of the New Deal. You have a country that was built and prospered on the backs of some semblance, a crumb of social democracy. And it's on its fucking last breath. And then you have China,
which he toured back in January on the day the disaster unfolded, with Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor and Democratic U.S. Senate candidate John Fetterman. This evening, the two will meet again in Philadelphia for a fundraiser. Republican challenger Dr. Mehmet Oz wants Fetterman to stay linked to the president, too, blaming inflation on both of them.
On the issue of inflation, John Fetterman does not believe Joe Biden spent enough money.
Oz has also questioned his opponent's health after he suffered a stroke in May.
I genuinely hope that there was not a doctor in your life making fun of your circumstances.
Fetterman released a letter from his doctor Wednesday that says he is recovering well, with no work restrictions, but occasionally there are words he will miss due to lingering auditory issues. Fetterman is one of the only Democrats fully embracing President Biden's support. In fact, this month, several high-profile candidates are holding events, but it's not President Biden who will be stumping by their side. It's
Barack Obama.
Gail.
All right, Weijia, thank you very much.
Nevada, a state I will never say the name correctly, is also becoming an unexpected battleground state as the Senate race is razor tight. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to CBS Mornings. We continue our team coverage of the upcoming election.
No wonder you are Democrat. You deep throat China all day. Yeah, dude, you know the Democratic Party is such a fucking big fan. Remember when Nancy Pelosi literally almost started World War III? By just straight up having a fucking random ass weekend party in Taiwan as she like escalated and went against the American government's attitude towards China. That's so crazy though. Everybody loves China in the Democratic Party. You already know. Dude, some of you motherfuckers are so stupid, dude. There's no saving you. Okay? There is no saving you, motherfucker. You are just so stupid. Like, you live in a world where people constantly fucking lie to you, and instead of like being just a little bit skeptical, you've just decided to eat that propaganda by the fucking spoonful, and you're just repeating it in here on a place where I can actually respond to you. Dummy, you are lying. You mean current President Barack Obama? Yep, that's right, brother.
Election America decides looking at races across the country that could determine who controls Congress. One of them is in Nevada, where the CBS News Battleground Tracker, just released, shows Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto locked in a close re-election race with Republican Adam Laxalt. Lilia Luciano is on the ground in Nevada asking Latinos, a fast-growing share of voters, what's influencing their decisions.
Stakes in the Nevada midterm races are high, and odds are Latinos will decide. Making up 20% of the state's electorate, governor, House, and Senate candidates are reaching out to secure votes among the fastest-growing minority. Few groups are more powerful and effective in eliciting those votes than the state's culinary union, knocking on more than 1 million doors ahead of this election.
Why are you doing this? I'm doing.
For the record, and I've literally door knocked on these streets. I'll just tell you something about Nevada, okay? The culinary union rank and file is super left, okay? They're great. Culinary union leadership, on the other hand, absolutely on board with the Democratic Party, hook, line, and sinker across the board. They will do anything and everything for the Democratic Party.
This because I think one of the issues that I'm most concerned about is the housing right now. I wish it wasn't so expensive.
The Republicans are trying to take away their freedom.
This year, the union endorsed incumbent Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, who made history as the first Latina ever in the Senate. But the CBS News Battleground Tracker shows her statistically tied with her opponent, former Nevada Attorney General Adam Laxalt. So even after hours, Cortez Masto is making the rounds.
My focus is on Nevadans. That's always been my priority, whether it's a small business owner like you have here, or it's families that want every opportunity to succeed for themselves and their kids. That's what it's about for me. That's the work that I get to do in the Senate every day.
For a state hit hard by COVID closures, with inflation and gas prices among the highest in the country, voting in this election is about nothing more than making ends meet, says Laxalt's advisor, Jesus Marquez.
Latinos in the past used to think that, okay, we need to vote for a Latina or a Latino, but now it doesn't matter whether it's Latino or not, as long as it takes care of the problems.
I can only tell you, that what I hear from Nevadas and Latinos, and it really is the same story for all of us, which is that American dream. You know, it is the opportunity to succeed.
But her opponent has a fierce finger pointed at Democrats as to why that dream is out of reach.
I tell them to look outside. And everything they're experiencing is a direct result of Joe Biden and Senator Catherine Cortez Masto. All the pain they're feeling today at the pump, at the grocery store, in their family budgets is a direct result of policy. They're killing the American dream.
There's work that I've been able to do in conjunction with them to start figuring out how we lower those costs, because we know it's squeezing families. I think the Inflation Reduction Act was a great first start, but I do think absolutely there's more that we can do together.
That focus on cost of living is something that we're seeing not just here in Nevada, but across the country. But I'll tell you something about voters here. They know the high stakes of this Senate race. According to our CBS News Battleground Tracker, 8 in 10 voters here see their vote as gaining their party control of the Senate in Washington. Tony?
All right, Lilia Luciano for us in Nevada. Lilia, thank you very much.